Hello, everybody out there in Rumble X and YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego, and today we're going to talk some more about Eat, Pray, Love. Your movie, your feminist garbage movie about doing what you want, regardless of the consequences. Just go do you. Live your best life. Live your truth. Okay? That's what you have to do. Okay? That's the meaning of life. Is whatever you want, okay? Just go do it, regardless of any sort of commitments or anything or responsibilities. The hell with all that, okay? Just go do you. Go do whatever the hell you want. Because when the time comes for you to settle down, everything will be right there waiting for you, okay? That's the message here. And oh my God, these movies. I've been doing a lot of thinking about these rom-coms and these chick flicks that I do, and they all deal with relationships, obviously. It seems to be the number one topic for women in women's movies is relationships, okay? Sexual relationships and all that. But they never do them from, like, the man's point of view. Like, you never see what the guy is going through, or the things that the guy has to do, the challenges that he has to face. In dating, you never see that. The guy is always like perfect, okay? And the woman, even though she's not perfect, she's treated like she is perfect because all women are beautiful, regardless of what size they are. Remember that, okay? Body positivity and all that crap, okay? That a lot of women believe, cope, all right? So the men are always like the high value guy. It's never like the average guy. The woman is always average, except like in her career, she'll have like a professional career in LA or New York. She went to college. She's got a white collar job. She's a reporter. She's a food critic, or she's a writer. Okay. Or she's a, an anchor woman or, some crap like that. A writer. Isn't that funny? Okay. So she's got some sort of professional job, all right? And by feminist standards, she's got everything. She's got the nice place. She's pretty, not gorgeous, but pretty, okay? She's like in her early 30s, that type of thing. She got, like I said, a professional job. She got the nice clothes. She's got the horny, unattractive best friend, the Molly Shannon / Chelsea Handler / these women, that's all they do. Okay, so they just play the unattractive, horny best friend. She's got the gay friend. Okay, she got all that stuff going on. Okay, but what she doesn't have is Mr. Right. She just doesn't have Mr. Right. Okay, and then she meets him, and blah blah blah. There's all this pomp and circumstance, and then by the end of it, she realizes a chase sequence. There's a chase. Someone's always running after somebody. Usually they're being chased to the airport or to the train station or wherever the hell they're going, okay? To the wedding, whatever. There's always a chase at the end, the third act. That's in all of them. And you start watching enough of these movies, start seeing the same things over and over again, okay? And one of the biggest concerns that I have with these movies is, yes, I do look at the women. I know the women look at the women in this movie, okay? But you know what else I do? I look at the man. Who is this guy that the women are supposed to be attracted to, that the woman is supposed to fall in love with? Who is this guy? Because I want to know who this guy is, okay? I originally started watching chick flicks to learn things about what women like, okay? And I started seeing, like, similarities, okay, in the men that the women go after in these movies, okay? And these guys are usually pretty perfect. Okay, they're good looking, they're successful, they're professional. Okay, they're pretty much confident, in all these things. All right, so it's like the woman has to like jump through the hoops to kind of like win him over, or something, or he's got to do some incredibly romantic crap in order to win her over, and all this stuff is just larger than life. And it's ridiculous and it's crazy. And I ask myself, why do women believe in this crap? Okay, I'll give you an example. Okay, the other night, I was on a date the other night. And we were talking about The Notebook. And yes, I reviewed The Notebook. It's on this channel. I reviewed, okay? And she's never seen my YouTube channel, okay? But she said, I love that movie. Oh my God, this is a great movie. You know, what do you think about the Notebook? Well, I think I did like 23 videos on the Notebook. Okay, like I said, it's on this channel if you want to see it. Okay, what I thought about the Notebook. But I hated that movie. I hated it. Okay, I'm sorry, it's a load of crap. It's a load of crap. And she's like, there was nothing wrong with that movie. Oh my god! And I was like, really? So if I was, you know what really turns me on? What really turns me on about a woman is when I first meet her, if she threatens to kill herself in front of me, that's going to get me hard. That's going to get me real hard. If not only am I going to get hard, I'm going to fall in love too. Okay? So if she threatens to kill herself in front of me, that's it, dude. That's like Spanish Fly for men. Works every single time. She's like, oh yeah, that's ridiculous. Why are you saying stupid things like that? Because that's what Ryan Gosling did. That's what Noah did in the movie. Okay? He's hanging from the damn fucking the Ferris wheel. Okay? Basically telling her, go out with me or else I'm gonna let go. I'm gonna let go. Oh my god! Oh my god! Are you gonna go out with me now? Are you gonna go out with me now? You know, like that. And of course she says, yes, yes. You know, like what the? Who the hell does that? And she said, oh my god, but it was so romantic. It wasn't romantic. Is that what if he had slipped? Okay? What if his grip wasn't as hard as he thought it was? Okay, the movie would be over. Okay, there'd be nothing romantic about that, about watching a man kill himself in front of hundreds of people. Nothing romantic about that. And what kind of a man would do that? What kind of a man would go up to a woman that he looked at for a couple of seconds, was attracted to her, and then decide that it's risk, he's willing to kill himself just to get her to go on a date with him? What kind of a man would do, a woman he doesn't even fucking know, just a pretty girl in a carnival full of pretty girls. But for some reason, he just figured out that she was the one that he was going to risk his life for. Do you understand how ridiculous that sounds for me saying it out loud? What kind of a man would do that? Well, okay, realistically, if a man did that, this is a guy who doesn't even care about his own life. How the hell is he going to care about you? Okay, this is a guy who, if you hurt his feelings, he will throw himself in front of a train. Okay? This is a guy, if you don't give him what he wants, okay, he will crash his car into a tree. You see what I mean? There's nothing romantic about it. There's nothing healthy about that. There's nothing good about that. See, you ladies are looking at it from a girl's point of view. Oh my God, look what he's willing to do for her. I'm looking at it from a guy, but what kind of dumb fuck is this? He thinks so little of his own life that he's willing to die just to get a girl to say yes to a date? A girl he doesn't even fucking know? He's a good-looking guy. He's going to have no problem getting a woman. He doesn't have to risk his life. He doesn't have to threaten to kill himself in order to get a girl to go out with him. Okay? It's fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. It's stupid. And only a man who is mentally disturbed would try something like this. Only a man with a death wish would try something like this. And that's just the beginning of the movie. There's a whole lot of other shit in that movie too. Like I said, watch my videos. You don't believe me. And she's like, oh my God, it's just a movie. Yeah, why do you don't read so much into it? Okay, it's just a movie. It's not realistic. See, I know it's just a movie. I know that. Okay? The problem is you don't know that. You think this shit's gonna happen to you. You think this is how romance works. If only a guy would be willing to kill himself for me, I'd go out with him too if he looked like Ryan Gosling. It's not gonna fucking happen. Oh my God. That's just one thing. That's just one thing. I got a whole list of other crap in that movie. You know, and, so just the fact that, see, there's the disconnect right there, I think, between men and women. You tell any guy, okay, any straight guy, I'm not talking about, because I know they make jokes about men on TV shows and movies. I just saw He-Man, I just saw Masters of the Universe last weekend, okay? And there was a guy in there, I guess it's He-Man's roommate or whatever, okay? There was a guy there that was watching The Notebook, okay? And he was crying during it. A man was crying while he's watching The Notebook by himself. That's so romantic. That's bullshit. Okay, so I know it's a joke, to have like masculine men watching The Notebook and crying at it. I get it, it's a fucking joke, okay? But the truth of the matter is, okay, men don't fucking like this movie. Any straight man who sat through this movie with his girlfriend thinks it's a load of shit. It's a load of shit. You see what I mean? But they can't tell you because they're not gonna get laid if they say that. Me, I'm too old to give a shit. I am too old to give a shit. I'm not gonna pretend to be something that I'm not just to get laid, okay? I am what I am, okay? And I love who I am, and it took me a long time to get here, okay? So I don't give a shit, okay? If a woman's gonna judge me based on the fact that I didn't like her fucking movie, then fuck you. Then I don't like you, okay? How about that? Okay? So, but that's not what happened. Just, you know, I'm still seeing her, okay? But like, I had to point that out to her, and it's something she didn't think about. You know, she turned her brain off watching the movie, and I can't turn my brain off when I'm watching a movie. I sure as hell can't turn my brain off during this piece of crap. Eat, Pray, Love. I can't turn my brain off, okay? I'm sorry, okay? I'm looking at this thing logically. I'm looking at it as, okay, why would a man like this fall in love with her? Why would she fall in love with a man? This type of man, or this type of man? Why would she make these type of decisions, okay? Why did she go to these people? Why did she place so much emphasis on witch doctors, okay, instead of, like, you know, her friends? You see what I mean? Just stuff like that. Okay, it's like she's looking for some sort of magical solution to her life. Okay, it's like she's like trying to cast a spell on her life. Okay, but that's not how real life works. Okay, she's asking for some sort of a miracle for a woman who doesn't, you know, really believe in miracles. Okay, she believes in what she can do on her own. Boss bitchiness, okay? If you're gonna be a boss bitch, you can't surrender to something else, okay? You've got to be in charge, because that will put someone else in charge. And we can't have that in these movies. The woman has to be in charge. You see what I mean? So there's a disconnect here. There's a conflict, okay, between, you know, surrendering to this whatever spiritual higher power she has, and then doing whatever the fuck she wants. And these two things are not the same thing. You see what I mean? So like she's trying to find basically a daddy. She's trying to find some sort of force out there to guide her life for her so that she makes no wrong decisions, so that everything turns out the way that she wants it to go, even though she's not sure what she wants. She wants someone else to figure that out for her, i.e. men. She wants men to figure that out for her. She doesn't know what she wants, but she wants someone to come into her life and figure that out for her so that she can be happy. Just figure it out, okay? That's what she wants, but at the same time, she doesn't want to, you know, commit to anything. She doesn't want to commit to any sort of a man, okay, that has the qualities that she wants, because that would put her in a position of vulnerability. That would put her in a position of weakness. That would give a man an amount of power over her. You see, and she can't have that either, because that goes against feminism. That goes against being a boss bitch. Okay, you can't be subservient to your man and then still be a fucking feminist. You see what I mean? These two things are not the same. Okay, they don't reconcile with each other. Okay, so she's basically fucking trying to figure out, okay, what's her purpose, what's going to make her happy, have someone else figure that out, but yet she doesn't want to take any responsibility for her own choices. Okay, she wants to make her own choices, she just doesn't want to accept the consequences of them. So she's basically praying for a beautiful, wonderful life, but she doesn't want to fucking do anything to get there. She's not willing to do anything to get there. You see what I mean? And that's the problem with Liz Gilbert. Okay? She's a walking contradiction. Okay? She's over here talking about romance, okay, and feelings and love and shit. But this is a woman who fucking, you know, tears down men. This is a woman who fucks over men. But yeah, she's talking about love and romance and purity and goodwill and all this other kind of bullshit that she learned at the ashram and during her meditations and her sleeping around and her, okay? But yeah, she doesn't actually feel those things in her personal life, okay? She definitely doesn't feel that way towards her lovers at all. She shits on her lovers, okay? Oh, she's that way with other women, yeah, because she's not attracted to women. She's got nothing to lose by being kind and honest to them. But when it comes to a man, no. For some reason, they don't get that. They don't get that sort of respect that the women in her life get. Okay? She can walk all over them. She does walk all over them. She doesn't respect any of them. You see what I mean? Because to her, they're beneath her. And she did that on purpose. She dated men that were beneath her on purpose. I'm not talking about financially. I'm talking about like emotionally, intellectually, okay, socially. Okay? She dated men beneath her so that she can have an excuse to find something wrong with them. She already found something wrong with them. That gives her leverage over them. That means it's safe for her to date them. You see what I mean? It'd be like a guy, like if I were to date a fat woman, Okay, a fat woman. You see what I mean? You'd be like, well, why are you dating her? Okay, you know why I'm dating a fat woman? Because she'll do what I fucking say. Okay, because she will respect me. She'll clean my house. She'll cook for me. She'll be faithful to me. Okay? She'll fucking suck my toe if I tell her to. You see what I mean? That's why I'm dating a fat girl. But then after a while, after getting treated like a king for however long, I can put up with that. Then I'll be like, you know what? You're just unhealthy, and I don't want that in my life. So bye. See what I mean? That's what Liz is doing. That's what she's dating, these weak men with no self-esteem. Okay? Because she knows she can manipulate them. Okay. Oh, she'll say shit like love and romance and second chances, you know, and opening my heart to you and all that kind of crap. Okay, that women say they like. Okay, but the bottom line is she's just trying to get off. Okay, she doesn't know how to surrender to anybody. She doesn't know how to surrender to a man. She doesn't know how to trust a man to take care of her. But yet she wants a man to be perfect and understand all of her complexities and take care of her, but she doesn't want to give herself up for that. You see what I mean? So like I said, she's a walking contradiction, okay? And she's not someone that, ladies, I think you should look up to. You shouldn't have followed her. You shouldn't have been reading her book. Okay, you can read her book, okay? But, you know, for those of you that gave up your lives, okay, to live this kind of a lifestyle, and you figured out that it was all bullshit. It was even bullshit for her. She's not happy. She's alone right now, living in a house with a bunch of fucking cats. She's an old lady. No man really, no high value man wants her. She's too fucking old. She can't give them kids. Okay? So all she has now is lesbians. Okay? These lesbians are all fucking old and ugly too. So what the fuck? She's got nobody really to go out with anymore. You see, nobody really wants her. You see what I mean? Because if any man, any high value man were to date her, they would have to date fucking this. They would have to date the fucking movie. They would have to date the book and that whole philosophy that she came up with. They would have to read about all the men that she fucked over, okay, to get to where she is, okay, all the men that she cheated on, okay, all the marriages that she had, okay, all the fucking one night stands that she had. A guy would have to look at all this and go like, really? I'm going to marry that? I don't want that. That's not the woman I want to grow old with. That's not the woman I want to spend my remaining years with. Some bitch fucking over the hill whore like this? Fuck you. You see what I mean? They don't talk about that in this book. I'm telling you, that's why it's a straight man's point of view. I'm telling you this, ladies. This is not high value material. What's high value for a woman is not the same thing as high value for a man. These fuckers that make these movies, that write these fucking books, they don't seem to understand that. They take a woman and they turn her into a high value man. They turn her into the type of man that a woman wants to be attracted to. But that's not what men are attracted to. You see what I mean? And they don't understand that because there's no men involved in this. There's no man writing the script, no straight man involved in this movie. It's all from a woman's point of view. A woman is telling me what I should find attractive. You see what I mean? You realize how stupid that sounds? The women are telling me what I should find sexy. Get the fuck out of here. My God. You know, there's a show, it's an old show called Queer Eye for the Straight Guy. No, I never watched it, okay? But it was a bunch of gay guys trying to teach straight men how to look more attractive to women. Why the fuck would you do that? Do you realize that makes no sense? That'd be like getting a bunch of fucking lesbos, a bunch of butch lesbians, Rachel Maddows, to give beauty tips to straight women. Are you fucking crazy? They're gonna look like fucking Paul Bunyan. All right, let's get into this movie here. I'm Diego. I'll give you a straight man's point of view. Before I forget, though, here real quickly, I want to get this over with here. Diego knows and knows Diego. This is my X account. Okay, this video is gonna be on X. Okay, and this right here, Diego de la Vega knows, that is my Rumble. Okay, this video is gonna be on Rumble as well. Okay, because you know how Google is. All right, they own YouTube. Now, where we left off last time, what do you call it? They had sex. Felipe and Liz had sex, okay, in the outdoor house. Okay, he basically listened to some bullshit song. I forgot the name of it. S Wonderful by Joao Gilberto. You should listen to that shit if you want to. If you want to clean out your ears, listen to it. It's absolutely horrible. I have no idea why anyone would think that this should be a perfect song to fuck during. But apparently, whoever gay people were involved in this movie decided that was the song. And of course, even though Javier Bardem looks like a masculine man, he's got the deep voice, he's got the broken nose, he's a little bit unshaven, once you actually like pay attention to his body language, okay, and listen to his dialogue, he's actually a cuckold bitch, okay, crying about his ex-wife for 10 years, okay, he's a fucking crybaby, he has no self-esteem, okay, he wears his heart on his sleeve, okay, this is very unattractive to women. All right, but the movie is telling you, no, this is what women like. They like a man who can show his vulnerability. No, they fucking don't. The reason Liz gets off on this is because she needs to find the cracks in the armor before she can date him. Okay, she needs to find, his Achilles heel before she will go on it, before she'll have sex with him. That way she can control him. That way she can manipulate him. Okay, that way when she fucks him over later on, she can blame it on his insecurities. Okay, instead of on herself. Well, he was damaged, okay? That's why I had to leave him. No, okay? You wanted him to be damaged so you could have leverage over him. And of course, Javier Bardem's character, Felipe, is too fucking stupid to understand this. Because he hasn't had pussy in fucking 10 years, okay? And the last pussy he had fucking left him for another man. And he's still fucking crying about it after 10 fucking years. Even though he lives in fucking Bali, okay? With a bunch of fucking young, beautiful white women there, expatriates from Australia that are just hanging out there, okay, looking for a sugar daddy, okay, lots of Europeans on vacation there, okay, and yet he can't get laid. It takes someone like fucking 42-year-old Liz Gilbert for him to get a rise in his Levi's. Are you fucking kidding me? Anyway, what kind of man? That's not a man. Anyway, so they have sex, whatever, blah, blah, blah. The next day, they're kissing goodbye, okay, while still listening to that bullshit love song. Okay, she's all over him. She's straddling him, okay. And now they got their clothes on and stuff, but it's time to say goodbye. You know when you get really crazy about someone, you just don't want to let them go. Like, they have to leave, they have to go to work, or they have to go do something. You're like, no, stay back here. No, don't go. That's what they're doing right now. So they're going the bliss, the euphoria. Okay, he's more euphoric than she is because, like I said, he hasn't busted a nut in a woman in 10 years. Okay, whereas Liz was fucking James. Oh, was it James? No, David. She was fucking David not that long, like 6 months ago. Okay, yeah, she was fucking James in New York like 6 months ago. That's the guy she was cheating on her husband with. Okay, yes, I said cheating because they were still legally married. Okay, so she has had sex, but the movie treats it like she hadn't had sex in 10 years. But the truth is, she had sex 6 months ago. It's actually this guy, this piece of shit, limp dick fucking cuck, okay, crybaby who hasn't had sex in 10 years, okay? But the movie doesn't want to focus on that. They want to focus on the fact that Liz hasn't had sex in 6 months. That's the real crime, okay? So anyway, so that's going on here. Okay, they're all kissy and shit, he says that she has to go meditate, okay? Because the reason she went to Bali was to see Ketut, the shaman, the witch doctor shaman, toothless old man who predicted her future, whatever, okay? And she's supposed to see him like every day, and she hasn't seen him in a couple of weeks because she's been hanging out with this fucking limp dick cuck beta male, okay, Felipe instead. Okay, but now she's feeling guilty about it. Okay, so she needs to go meditate. Okay, and she hasn't seen Ketut in 2 weeks. Okay, she's all happy and excited and does the whole heels kick thing. I'm not fucking making that up. Okay, now I'm pretty sure it was a body double because we just saw a silhouette. Okay, it was a stunt woman. It wasn't actually Julia Roberts. But when she's walking away, she does the double click with her heels. That clowns do that they did in vaudeville. Okay. I can't even do it. I used to be able to do it when I was younger, but yes, she does. Oh, whoop, boom. Where you jump up and click your heels together with your feet pointed out. And it was done in silhouette, so I'm pretty sure that wasn't Julia Roberts that did it. Okay, but the fact that they left that in the movie, they put that in the movie and then left it in there during the editing, that's pretty fucking stupid. Okay, that's low. That's low status behavior. Okay, it is. It really is. Okay, that takes some points away from Julia. See, Julia Roberts' character Liz Gilbert is supposed to be the coolest woman in this movie. She's supposed to be the one that you relate to. She is your avatar in this world, in this film. Okay, she's you, the viewer. Okay, you see everything through her eyes. Okay, so you have to relate to her and understand her so that you can experience what she's experiencing in the movie. Okay, and when she does that stupid heel click, it makes you look like a fucking nerd. Okay, it makes you look weak and stupid and immature. Okay, what kind of a 42-year-old woman does that? Okay, it's dumb. We already know she's fucking all. She can't keep her hands off Felipe. We already know that she's fucking full of endorphins right now. Okay, that she's full of dopamine. Okay, we get that. Okay, her heart's all fluttering. Okay, she's finally had sex. It's been 6 months. Okay, you see what I mean? So we already understand that. We don't need that to underline it. That's just dumb. All right. Anyway, so that's going on here. Okay, during her bullshit meditation, she finds out that she has a bladder infection. Oh, she gets some pain in her side. Okay, because she hadn't had sex in 6 months, getting pounded caused a bladder infection. All right. Okay, so and she learns this from the fucking witch doctor. Okay, the witch doctor. Well, she has two witch doctors. She has Ketut, the shaman, the fortune teller, and then she's got Wayan. Wayan is the single mom boss bitch doctor, and by doctor I mean she got her medical degree from a fucking box of Cracker Jacks. Okay, and so she goes to see her, Mayan, the witch doctor, the single mom. Okay, that got her, like I said, yeah. So she goes to see her, okay, and Maya tells her that love is, of course, Maya doesn't give a shit about the infection. She just wants to know about Liz's love life, of course. Even Ketut, the fortune teller, he doesn't give a shit about her fortune. All he wants to know is who she's fucking, okay? Everybody in this movie just wants to know who she's fucking. They don't care really about her or what's going on in her life. They just want to know who she's fucking, okay, and how that's going, all right? So Mayan tells her love is scary and dangerous, okay? And you don't want to lose your boss bitchiness, okay? So Maya goes into, even though she lives in a third world country, okay? She's very poor, that's pretty obvious, okay? She's telling Liz here, okay, that, it's scary to be in a relationship with a man because if you do that, you're going to lose control, okay? You're not going to be in charge of your life anymore. You're surrendering it to another man, okay? And you shouldn't do that, okay? That's why you should never be in a relationship with a man, okay? Because you don't want the man to call the shots, okay? You don't want a man in charge of you. And if you get into a relationship with a man, that's what's going to happen. If you fall in love with a man, that's what's going to happen. Okay, he's going to have an amount of a control over you. And we can't have that because that takes away your agency. That takes away your feminism. Okay, so don't do that. Don't make the mistake that I did. I used to be married. Okay, I used to be married. And I kicked that fucker to the curb. Okay, you know why? Because if I hadn't, I wouldn't have all this. You see what I mean? That kind of bullshit. Anyway, she tells her this. She tells her about her backstory. Okay, she said it happened to me once. I pray every day that husband bad for me. My husband was bad for me. I pray every day, but my husband was bad for me. Okay, I have to get away from him. I have to. Okay, one day, right here, one day, my husband, this is where he hit me with motorcycle helmet. He beat me right here with motorcycle helmet. My daughter, Tuti, from Facts of Life, she tell me, Mama, leave daddy. Daddy a wife abuser. Daddy not good. Daddy not let you be boss bitch. Leave him. I don't want daddy, I want mommy. Daddy piece of shit. Leave daddy. You need to divorce daddy. She said that to me when she was 4-year-old. Don't feel bad about Felipe, Liz. Don't feel bad about Felipe. Everybody needs affection, honey. Affection make people do funny things. Everybody gets like that in the beginning. Everybody gets like that in beginning of relationship. Really? Did Felipe say that they were in a relationship? Did Felipe say that they were in a monogamous, committed relationship? Did he ever mention that? I don't think he did. In fact, I don't think they even talked about that, okay? I think they just had sex, and then they were both euphoric the next day, okay? I don't think there was a conversation about, okay, we're official now, okay, we're going to get rings, and all. No, none of that shit happened, okay? So why the fuck is Wayan treating this, okay, this one-night stand, 'cause that's what it is so far, it's a one-night stand. Why is Wayan treating this as if it's a committed, monogamous, long-term relationship, okay? Why did she automatically go there? Why is she automatically talking about falling in love, being dangerous? How the fuck does she know that Liz is in love? Liz doesn't even think she's fucking in love, okay? So what the fuck would she be getting love advice when they've only had sex once? You see what I mean? Why is this movie treating it like having sex once automatically goes to being in love? Okay? Why? Fucking Liz was married for 8 fucking years and she wasn't in love. So why would a one-night stand cause her to fall in love? You see what I mean? This movie doesn't even understand its own logic. It doesn't even play by its own rules. We're already talking about long-term committed relationship after they fucked one time. And it's not just Liz treating it, it's Felipe's treating it this way too. He thinks he just fucking got married. Or he's acting that way. You see what I mean? So Wayan says, too much happiness and pleasure will make you sick. I lose myself to this. Oh no. You can't surrender your heart to a man. You see what I mean? And that's the point of her little speech here to Liz. Is okay, is that if you these feelings that you're having for Felipe, okay, this emotional, this euphoria that you're experiencing right now, okay, it's gonna make you sick. It's gonna make you lose control. It's gonna make you make bad decisions. It's gonna make you allow him to beat you up. Okay, it's gonna make you allow him to abuse you and keep you from doing you. Keep you from being your boss bitching yourself that you deserve to be, that you were born to be. He's going to keep you from being the queen that you are. You see what I mean? It's a form of surrender, a bad surrender, and you need to be careful. Do not let that happen. It happened to me, and he beat me with motorcycle helmet. So unless you want Felipe to beat you with motorcycle helmet, don't fall in love. Don't pay attention to those feelings. Don't reciprocate them. Get the hell out. Because you deserve better. Those feelings are bad. They will fuck you over. Like they did me. You see what I mean? That's what she's telling Liz. And it's not really her telling her this, okay? It's Liz Gilbert, the one who wrote this fucking book. This is what she's telling you, the readers. Don't surrender to any man, okay? They will use that against you. They will hold that as leverage. If a man knows that you're crazy about him, he will use that to hurt you, to control you, to manipulate you, to fuck with you. So don't let that happen. Now, the fact that Liz herself has been doing this to the men never once occurs to her. It's only bad when men do it to women. It's not bad when women do it to men. You see what I mean? Because that's all Liz does, is she does this. She gets a weak man, a beta male, to fall in love with her. And then she starts finding things wrong with him, and then she fucking leaves him. And it doesn't hurt her feelings. Because she never really gave a shit about him to begin with. But she knew that he gave a shit about her. Therefore, she had leverage over him. She's telling you, the reader and the viewer of this movie, don't let that, what she does to men, don't let a man do that to you. And I'm telling you that too, ladies. All of you out there that are single, okay, go date some limp dick, a soy boy, beta male cuck. Go date some guy. There's plenty of them out there, and they will fall in love with you right away. Go be with a man like that, okay? Because you know why? Because a man like that will never fucking hurt you. A man like that will never play with your emotions, never get you wet, never get you horny, never get you excited, will never get you to fucking look forward to seeing him when you get home from work. You see what I mean? So you'll have power over him. You can boss him around. You can emasculate him because he'll stay with you anyway. You can even cheat on him. He won't divorce you. He'll forgive you. You can be with a guy like that. Okay? Because a guy like that's not going to hurt you. And isn't that the most important thing, that you don't get hurt? You see what I mean? You can't have a real relationship unless both sides are vulnerable. And Liz pretends to be vulnerable, but she's really not. That's why she dates these lip dick soy boy beta males, because they can't fucking hurt her. They're no threat to her. That's why she dates them. God forbid she ever date a real man. But then again, a real man would never be attracted to her. So there is that. She kind of has no choice. And I think that's what the real frustration is. I think that's what really bothers her. I think that's what she really should have written the book about. Instead of all this transcendental meditation crap and spirituality, she just should have written a book about how fucking the men that she's attracted to are not attracted to her. And she could have written a bestseller about that. And they could have made a movie about that. Okay? And that movie, I guarantee you, a lot more men would have gone to see that movie. It wouldn't have just been women. But we're not going to get that. Because that goes against the narrative. That goes against the fantasy that women have. Okay? That men all need women and women don't need men. You see what I mean? And that's a load of shit. It's a load of shit. But these books, these movies, they keep promoting that. They keep pushing that. This movie came out 16 years ago. It's even worse now. The only difference is that now in 2026, the men are pushing back. The men are like, I don't need you. You know what? I think I'll just keep my fucking money. And I think I'll fucking go on vacation. I'll fuck a lot of hot young women. I just won't marry them. You see what I mean? And that's the guys that can get laid. That's the 15%. The rest of them are just opting out, man. And it's sad. They're just playing video games and watching porn. It's sad. Yeah, it's gotten worse. All right. All that's going on here. So Liz decides to send a group email. She sends an email to all of her friends. Okay? Because it's her birthday. And in her email, she says that, hey, my birthday's coming up here, you know, and if I was back in New York, we know what would happen is all of you would have a party for me. All my friends and family would be there. You'd buy me lots of gifts and treat me like a fucking boss bitch princess that I am. But this year, I want to do something different, okay? There's a woman named Wayan. She is a single mom, okay, living here in Bali. She's a witch doctor, okay? And she's very, very poor, okay? And so for my birthday, I would like you to donate money to her. So basically a GoFundMe. I don't know, were GoFundMes around in 2010 or 2009, whatever? Okay, they definitely weren't around in 2004 when this movie actually did take place, but the movie came out in 2010. The real life experiences of this happened in 2004, but the movie came out in 2010. Okay, so I don't think there was a GoFundMe back then. But anyway, that's basically what she does. She asks them to donate money to Wayan and her daughter Tootie, okay, so that they can buy a house. Because she feels sorry for her. She wants to do something good for her, okay? This woman, this witch doctor that gives her fucking love advice. Okay, everybody's giving her fucking love advice. All right, so that's going on here, okay? You know, she sends that email to Sophie. Remember Sophie? She was the Swedish flight attendant that speaks perfect American English that she met in Italy, and her boyfriend Giovanni, the Italian guy that taught her Italian. Okay, Aunt Adelia, the boss bitch black woman back in New York, her best friend. Okay, who treats her husband like a piece of shit that he is, like a pussy beta male cuck that he is. Okay, and it also goes out to other people like Rich, yes, okay, the guy she met in Calcutta when she was at the ashram. Yeah, that old man, he gets the email as well. So a lot of these people we've already met in the movie, they get this email from Liz, okay? And she's basically asking for money, to donate money for Wayan so that she can get her freaking house, okay? Okay, so that she can buy a house, okay? See, in Bali, like I said, Wayan is divorced. She divorced her husband because he beat her with motorcycle helmet. Okay, well, maybe if he beat her more, she'd be pretty. Okay, but anyway, so anyway, I'm not advocating violence towards women. All right, it was just a joke. All right, so maybe, I guess in Bali, when you get a divorce, the wife gets nothing. It's not like in America where the wife gets everything. The wife gets nothing. Okay. So I think if I'm getting married, I'm going to Bali. I'm going to go to Indonesia and get married. I'm getting married here. Hell no. All right. No wonder. No wonder guys are going to the Philippines and shit and getting brides over there. No fucking wonder, man. It's better than here. All right. You know, so Wayan is a single mom. She needs help. Okay. So Wayan, in order to get custody of her daughter, Tootie, she had to sell everything that she had. Okay. To pay for the legal fees. Okay. So Tootie wants a house. Okay. And earlier we saw Tootie play with a piece of tile. It's a piece of blue tile. And she mentioned something that, hey, you know what? If Mama and I ever get a house, I want the floor to look like this blue tile. Okay. So Tootie wants a house. Okay. In Italy, Gio taught her that Tootie. Okay. So Liz makes a connection. Okay. When she was learning Italian when she was in Italy, Gio taught her the word Tootie. Okay. Tootie, which is the little girl's name. Okay. But Tootie in Italian, it means everybody. So Tootie in Italian means everybody. So she's telling her friends to donate this money for Tootie, donate this money for everybody. Okay, which not really it's for Wayan and her daughter Tootie is where the money's going, okay? But that's what it means. So she thought that the word Tootie, the name Tootie, reminded her of the word Tootie, which reminded her of everybody. So that's what gave her the idea to donate money to Wayan. All right. So Liz says when you set out to help yourself, you end up helping Tootie. In other words, when you set out to help yourself, you end up helping everybody. So in other words, her argument is if I'm out there trying to make myself better, I end up making other people better too. Okay, that's the moral of this story here in Bali. Every country she's in, there's a new moral. In Italy, she realized that only through suffering, through going through trials, can you be reborn, and that's a good thing. Okay, in Calcutta, she learned that God experiences you as you. Okay, in everything that she sees. And now that she's in Bali, she figured out that when you try to be a selfish, stuck-up, pretentious bitch, it makes everyone else's life better. Okay, not just yours. Okay, get the fuck out of here if you believe that. Anyway, so that's what's going on here. Okay, you know, Liz raises $18,000 for Wayan. Okay, and Tootie. Okay, and when she presents them with a check for 18 grand, they're like, ah! They start dancing up and down and shit, you know. They don't do the heel clip, although that's what they should have done. And they're all excited, okay. So they're all happy and excited. They're going to have their own house now, okay. And I will say this about this scene. It does redeem Liz a little bit in my eyes. I never said one. I've called Liz lots of names. She's a slut. She's a pretentious whore, okay? She's selfish, she's greedy, okay? She's all these things, and I wasn't lying. She still is, okay? But she's not a psychopath. She does have some sort of a conscience, okay? The whole point of this movie is her trying to alleviate her conscience. She knows that she's a bad person, or she's done terrible things that she doesn't want to forgive herself for. She knows that, and she knows that she's having a hard time forgiving herself for those things because she would not forgive those things if those things were done to her. So that's the contradiction that she faces. That's the story arc of this whole movie. Okay, is how do I forgive myself for doing shit that I don't tolerate from other people? Okay, you see what I mean? Okay, and so here she is, in order to alleviate her guilt, here she is crying about fucking, not knowing whether or not she's in a committed relationship with Felipe, but yet here's this woman who's got practically nothing. And yet here Liz is feeling sorry for herself when this woman here has it a hell of a lot worse than she does. And so she realized, oh my God, I am being selfish. So I need to do something to alleviate my selfishness. I need to get out of self. Okay, I think I'm going to help this woman because it's going to make me feel better. So I'm going to ask people to donate money for this woman so that her and her daughter can live better. Okay, and so that was an altruistic thing to do. Okay, and even me, in my own personal experiences, whenever I get too caught up in my own life, I try to help other people. Okay, I do. I know you would never guess that. Okay, but it makes me feel better about myself. Okay, and it's not necessarily money. Sometimes other people just need someone to talk to. Okay, and that's what I try to do. as well. I try to get out of myself, okay? Instead of focusing so much on what's important to me and what I want, okay, why don't I look at my neighbor or look at my friend and say who's struggling through something, and let me see what's important to them. Okay, maybe I can help them and get out of fucking thinking about myself all the goddamn time. You see what I mean? And I think that's what Liz is trying to do here. Okay, she's trying to raise money for this woman because she feels sorry for her. Okay, and because she's a woman, you know, a boss bitch, trying to be a boss bitch. Okay, and she can be a boss bitch easier if she has an $18,000 house. Okay, you see what I mean? So that's what she's trying to do here. Okay, and I give her kudos for that. Okay, at least she's thinking about other people now, because she's not very good at that. She's not very good at thinking about other people and wanting other people to have things better. Okay, she's mostly thinking about herself. So maybe there is a story arc for her here. Okay, maybe that is something. Maybe she did get a little bit better, become a little bit better of a person. Because once you start helping other people and you see the joy that it gives you from helping other people, you're going to want to start helping even more people. That's been my experience. Okay, talking to someone. Okay, helping them through their problems. Okay, doing things for others. Okay, putting my shit to the side has made me feel better about who I am, okay, and what I'm doing with my life than anything else. Okay, it gets me out of self, it gets me out of my selfishness, out of my own insecurities, out of my own greed, okay? And I think that's what Liz is starting to learn here. So kudos to her. At least she's learning something. I never thought she was a total fucking irredeemable person. Okay, she's just a very selfish and greedy person who's unaware of it. Thank God there's a scene like this where she is starting to become aware of what type of person she is. That doesn't mean she's going to change. I don't think she's ever changed. Okay, but at least she's like noticed it. Like, okay, wait, you know, maybe I'm being too judgmental of other people. Maybe I should be a little bit more judgmental of myself. Here I am criticizing everyone else for my fucking problems and my unhappiness. Okay, but never once did I think that maybe instead of fucking just criticizing, okay, I should be helping. Okay, maybe instead of fucking getting married to fucking limp dick beta male cucks, maybe I should help them become more alpha. See, that never occurred to her. You see what I mean? Anyway, that's just some food for thought. All right, I'm going to stop my review right here, but I'll be back soon to continue my review of this worthless piece of shit movie. I thank you very much for watching this long, and I will see you soon on the next one. Bye.